This evoked such universal scorn and outrage that Canada actually appointed an entire commission to look into Johnson and try to decide what they should do about this moral outrage and this national disgrace. And then let's just go back a week to the newspapers with stories that Mark McGwire's celebrated home run record may have been tainted by the use of androstenedione, a drug which might have certain effects on an anabolic steroid, on testosterone levels and function, and that his home run record may have been tainted by the use of this drug, which he acknowledged taking, which many other baseball players acknowledge taking. So here we have three celebrated cases of athletes whose outstanding performances have been tainted morally and stigmatized by the claim that they use performance-enhancing drugs. And what I want to suggest is that these claims that there is some moral issue here are really without any foundation that I can discern. If we could have the first slide, I do that. This is a list of what I take to be the general claims, moral claims about performance-enhancing drugs, and we'll go through them one by one. I should say that most people who write on this subject don't necessarily do so in an orderly fashion, and sometimes it's difficult to figure out just what their claim is because the editorials and the articles are more sort of shock and outrage and expostulations than analysis. But reading between the lines, this is what you could discern. First, the claim that these drugs are unfair because if one person, assuming that they work, if one person takes them and his or her competitors don't, there is an unfair advantage. Second, that they should be regulated because they're harmful, because of adverse effects which can cause serious damage to people who take them, and that we need to prohibit them to protect athletes from themselves, essentially. Third, that they're coercive. Tom Murray, formerly director of the bioethics program at Case Western Reserve, wrote a famous essay called The Coercive Power of Drugs in Sports, arguing that they should be banned because they are coercive. That is, if your opponent takes them, you have to take them. You have no choice, given their efficacy. Fourth, that they're unnatural, that people should compete based on their God-given or natural abilities, and that using unnatural assisted performance is inherently immoral, and that there should be a level playing field in which people just compete on their natural abilities. And then last, as I said at the beginning, a claim that there is some important distinction between treatment and enhancement, that it's quite all right for athletes or anyone else to take drugs that treat some disease or disability, but to take drugs for the purpose of enhancing behavior or performance that's already normal is immoral. Well, as I said, I believe all of these claims are incoherent and at best, and I'll try to explain why. Let me emphasize why I thought this talk was surprising for a pediatric audience.